On the show this week, my reading for the month of December. Hello, welcome back. My news is I have had the COVID. I was not very ill. I was in bed for a couple of days. Then I got better, then I got worse. But on the whole, it's been very mild. It's been just a matter of feeling a bit tired afterwards, really. I didn't even have a temperature. I didn't even lose my sense of taste and smell and all those things. The funny thing is that it's actually quite a relief to have this bloody disease, because once you've had it, well, you may be immune afterwards, we don't really know, but the nice thing is that it wasn't as bad as you thought, at least, in my case it wasn't, and I feel very grateful for that. And I've been spending the last 9 months living in fear of getting it very badly and having a frightening or fatal experience with it. That didn't happen, and I'm back, and I'm officially released from my quarantine. The health department rang me up and said, yes, you're released, run around, get some fresh air, it'll be good for you. So that was nice. They even offered to send me a certificate certifying that I'd had it. I wasn't quite sure whether that would be very useful to me, so I said no thanks. But you never know, maybe I should have said yes. So yes, I think my powers of concentration are okay. My stamina's not very good. So today I thought what I'd do was I'd plunge straight into my reading for December, and then if I find I have any energy after that, I'll tell a few jokes or give you some tips on how to live your life, or make a bitchy remark about another YouTuber, who knows. But let's do the reading now. After the rather gloomy reading for November, I've decided to use these very bright, iconic and very present Sheridan Douglas tarot cards, and I've got a nice orange tablecloth, and so we're all set for some good vibes, I hope. I was doing some research just this morning about home decaffeination of tea. And there's this thing that you can decaffeinate your tea at home by pouring boiling water over it and waiting for 30 seconds and then discarding that and then drinking the next cup. I did a little bit of further research, and there are these scientists saying, oh no, absolute nonsense. If you do that, it'll reduce the caffeine by 9%. You would have to make a significant difference, you would have to steep it for like 5 minutes and then discard it and then make the second cup. And I'm thinking, okay, well, once you've thrown away all that taste, what's the second cup going to be like? So yes, there are no easy answers. The scientists are also saying that actually green tea is not necessarily lower caffeine than black tea. It all depends on the tea, when it was picked, how it was processed, which parts of the plant. And they also think that white tea, this tea that's meant to be very low caffeine, they say that's a complete myth. It's probably higher caffeine than green tea because they just use the tips, and the tips have got all sorts of things in, including caffeine. So no easy answers, ladies and gentlemen. Life is a ball of confusion, and it's hard just to sit down and drink a cup of tea in a relaxed way, isn't it? It's hard. Nothing's simple. Anyway, enough of that. Here are my cards. Sheridan Douglas. I'm here. It's late November, and I'm going to put down some cards and see what I can pick up for the month of December 2020. We're going to put one card down for main theme of the month. The second card will be past influences. The third card will be roadblocks of the month. And the fourth card will be possibilities of the month. So I'm going to ground myself. I'm going to send that request up on a silver tray. Please give us a general reading for the month of December 2020. Shuffle a bit more. Okay, so it seems like in some ways we are going back to basics in this month. The main card of the month is the Ace of Swords, and the past influences are a reversed Ace of Coins. I'll check this in my records, but I believe that reversed Ace of Coins was the main card of the November reading. So we're progressing from that feeling that we've had in November of being rootless and finding it very difficult to get our feet on the ground, get any feelings of stability and strength. Yeah, it's like the strength goes out of one's muscles. One doesn't have anything particularly stored in oneself with which to face the future. The Ace of Swords, main theme of the month, that's a mental energy in that position, upright. That is a beginning. The main theme of the month then is getting our ideas straight. It is in fact new ideas for the future. So I regard that as quite exciting. Opposite this Ace of Swords, we have a reversed King of Swords. Now, the King of Swords at the best of times is a challenging personality or a challenging energy, because swords are this rather dispassionate suit. I feel that swords are locked into the intellectual sphere. I feel that swords do relate, for example, to the sphere of politics. They can also relate to the sphere of philosophy, if you like. Anything which is about ideas, but swords are clearly not pentacles. They're not about being grounded, and they're not always about reality. Swords are very much about freedom, because our minds do offer us enormous amounts of freedom. I was reading a book by the founder of Family Constellations. Well, it was an interview with him, and the book was called Acknowledging What Is. And he made rather a funny comment in the book. He's very into acknowledging what is rather than getting too hung up on how things ought to be in an ideal world. And he said, you do have freedom. And one aspect of freedom is that you have freedom to think anything, and you have freedom to come up with any ideas and theories about how things work. You also have the freedom to have ideas and theories that have nothing to do with reality. And, you know, if that's what you want to do, off you go. So he was talking about, I think, the difference between the earth element and the air element. So if in the month of December we have the indication and the possibility that we can make a new start with our ideas about life and our ideas about the world, okay, we come into conflict with the card at the other end of the suit, the king, who in this case is reversed. Okay, so the king has gone all the way through the progression of the suit of swords, and he has come to the point where he commands the realm of thought. He's powerful, he has a system, he knows what he thinks, and he's got a good mind, and it functions well. So the King of Swords then is established thought, established ways of thinking, established patterns of thought, which heaven knows are not always helpful. I think the kings tend to be what you might call, with a small c, conservative, because they are masters of their realm. The knights are more what you might call, with a small p, progressive. So our possibilities of the month of December are in the Knight of Batons. So the Knight of Batons is an energy that is passionate and interested in values, interested in what's important, There's a great line by Chrissie Hynde: "What's important in this life? Ask the man who lost his wife." There is a difference between an idea and a value. So the possibilities of the month, if we're going to have some fresh new ideas about our lives or about the world in general, they need to have a sort of a passionate, a freshness to them. They need to be about our real values and our convictions. I think the obstacle card here is really a warning against getting drawn into theoretical conflicts. A lot of the time, theoretical conflicts are about ideas and thoughts that are just floating around and are being hit backwards and forwards between us like tennis balls. And a lot of the time, they are other people's ideas and thoughts that are packaged and then chewed over by us, one and all. Battens, that's about something which is dear to us. Okay, so the advice there is to make sure when we're working things out, when we're arguing or when we're conflicting, which is fine, a little bit of conflict, to make sure that it is that what we are expressing or what we're standing up for is really dear to us and satisfies us on a deep and thorough level and really resonates with our values and with our desires and what we want for the future. I think it does feel like we're living in quasi-revolutionary times. I mean, let's hope it's quasi and not real revolutionary times. And this card is quite special. The Ace of Swords, when it falls in the upright position, it's often a sort of a stamp of divine approval. And it is good news. It can mean triumph. It can mean success. I think in this context, it can mean the breaking down of structures so that new and better structures can replace them. It's a one. It's a beginning of a new cycle. I feel these cards are, compared to the cards in November, make me want to take a deep breath. It feels that having gone from the reversed Ace of Coins to the upright Ace of Swords also makes me want to take a deep breath. Where we're dealing with the fundamentals of our lives or the fundamentals of our world, depending on how you want to take this reading. And it feels like certain things are falling into place. I'm just going to draw two more cards for the possibilities of the month. That's interesting. I got another ace, the Ace of Cups, and I got a reversed Hermit. I was talking about hold on to, as they say in the song, hold on tight to your dreams. Hold on to your values, hold on tight to your authenticity, your heart, when it comes to conflict and arguments and when it comes to sorting out new ways of doing things or new ways of running the world. And we now have another ace on the table. I was hoping we get all four, but we have three. Hold on to your source of joy. Hold on to your heart's desires at this time. And reversed Hermit, don't isolate yourself. Isolation is a contentious concept at the moment, isn't it? Because some of us have to isolate ourselves, but no, we don't have to. We have the telephone, ladies and gentlemen. We have FaceTime. We even have Facebook and Twitter. This is not a time to isolate yourself. Whether you are getting together with people at the time of the solstice, Christmas time, whatever you want to call it, or whether you're not, whether you are really shielding, quarantining, or whether you're not, pick up the phone. It's very energizing. It's very healing. Phone your friends on WhatsApp and save some money and just talk to them for hours. Now is the time for us to come together and warm each other's hearts and show each other that we care about life and about each other. And that will be very energizing and very healing, I think. Well, rather nice cards for this month. Exciting. There's still conflict ahead, but it's less, I find the cards less disturbing than last month. So let's take a deep breath and enjoy December. I guess if I'm feeling really brave, I might even do a reading for the whole of 2021 when we get to that part of the year. But for now, stay well, look after yourself, good luck with it all. Fingers crossed that we get to see each other and hug each other and have some sort of a joyful time over the Christmas season. Okay, bye.